The first time I ever smoked weed was around Trag's birthday. It had to be your birthday. He was like, yo, Trag was like, yo, smoke for my birthday.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, you did.
You asked me for the shit and I said no.
Okay, but whichever way you want to put it, I ended up smoking the weed. So now I'm smoking the weed. I'm like, yo, my whole mouth went dry. This is my first time smoking weed. My whole mouth went dry. I'm like, heart beating fast, heart beating slow. Fucking red.
Nah, if you're gonna tell what you did. He said,
I red.
Welcome to On Da Chow. I'm your host, Tragedy Khadafi, along with my co-host, Mr. A.
What up, what up?
Here at On Da Chow, the guest comes through and makes their signature dish just for you. Food for thought, real conversation. Y'all make sure y'all do the dishes on Da Chow. Let's go.
We're back with another episode of On Da Chow. I'm your host, Tragedy Khadafi, with my co-host, Mr. A.
What up?
And today,
Let's go.
let's get to it. Again, today, we have the Francis Ford Coppola of hip-hop, the cinematic, horrific hood street author, director, dictator. We have no other than half of Mobb Deep, the infamous Havoc in the building.
Let's go.
No, thank you, beloved. And look, on top of that, we got an extra treat for you. Don't knock the rice over.
Hey.
Uncle Ben is our friend. Listen, on top of that, we have Miss Mercedes Machida. This is Havoc's mother. So we kind of have the original Mobb in the building. Because without you, there would be no Mobb.
Amen.
Amen to that. Listen, we're gonna chef this up. We got some lamb chops going down. We got some Uncle Ben's rice. We got the onions. I got your butter. We made sure we had that butter for you.
Fried
And
cabbage.
when we come back with On Da Chow, we're gonna have Mobb Chops. Talk about
Go.
it.
I was gonna ask him to do, my son to do something, but we're not gonna trust that today. We're gonna go here and we're gonna be making some fried cabbage. And we're gonna have our lamb chops.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be cooked with butter and rosemary and garlic,
Rosemary.
right? The rosemary is what you always use for lamb. Always. That gives it that.
Tex said that too.
Yeah, always.
Why is that?
Because it gives it a flavor. It takes away the wildness.
The game.
The game.
Takes away the game
Yes,
taste.
it does. Because lamb has that game just like venison.
That's right.
You know. So you want to have the rosemary flavor to kind of like bring a better flavor to the lamb. So you don't have the game. And we're gonna have our fried cabbage made with our onions.
That's what's up.
You know, with rice.
Uncle Ben's rice.
Uncle Ben's. I'm a
what's up.
Carolina rice person. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Just get to it. We're gonna get to
But
it.
we're gonna do that.
So what are we doing? What do you need us
What do you want to
So
start?
right now, we need to move this here out the way.
Okay.
Move this in the back.
We got these things. Let me rinse this off. You need me to
Yeah.
rinse this off?
Yes, you need to cut. Let me cut it first. Give me.
Let's have it. Come over here and cut some.
Anyway.
Every time I need to cook something, I always go to her and I be like, Mommy.
That's not what you said on the phone. Listen,
He's telling.
you know what? Yeah, keep it green. Listen, you
No,
know what?
he's
You
really
know what I
telling.
want to do? You know what I want to do right
No,
now?
I call her and ask her for recipes.
Now you did say, just to keep it greenberry,
Yes.
100,000. You did say, yo, for the cabbage, I gotta call my mom's.
Yes.
Right.
And when soon as she
Now,
hit
I need a
me,
plate for this.
I'm gonna hit you with the.
Because there's two ways to cook the cabbage.
Put it in the oven.
But maybe she might not.
You can steam it, you can saute it.
Right.
Alright.
There's two ways that you could cook it.
I need a big
You can fry
bowl
it,
of cabbage.
or you can
That's
steam
this.
it.
Right.
So that I called her for that.
Factual.
And I told you about that.
Yes, you did.
One of these?
Once again, you're watching On Da Chow. We got Havoc of Mobb Deep, the infamous Mobb Deep. It's an honor. And we making Mobb Chops with Mama Mobb Deep, Miss Mercedes. Is he gonna help you cut the onion? I feel like he's kind of just, hey, bro.
No,
You gonna just do everything?
I don't mind because this is what I do.
That's mama for you.
I just do that. And he's right. When there's something that he doesn't, my son doesn't know how to cook, or even my daughter doesn't know how to cook, he always calls me. So one day he called me for mac and cheese, how to make that. So now, between my daughter and him, he makes the best mac and cheese ever. He's
They
good
don't know
at that. He makes the best mac and cheese.
That's what I love about On Da Chow. Like your favorite artist comes in and makes dishes you wouldn't even think the guy who made shook ones.
And then my daughter.
For every rhyme I write is 25 to life. Makes banging macaroni.
Oh yes, he does.
That's a beautiful thing.
They don't even know that.
They don't even know. That's a beautiful thing.
And then my daughter, she called
Let me
me.
get rid of this for you.
My daughter called me one day for the fried cabbage, and now
Okay,
she
right.
makes fried cabbage better than I do. You know.
No doubt.
You know, always the student always should become better than the
teacher.
You know.
How you feel about that, Hav? The student becoming better than the teacher. You think you agree with that?
That's natural.
That's the natural order?
That's the natural order of things.
Yes, it is.
That's the
Do you
natural
think the
order.
student became better than the teacher?
That I think the
Do
student.
you think the student became better than the teacher?
No.
That was a double-ended question.
She will always be better than me.
She caught it.
She will always be better than me.
That is definitely a quick
Trick
that was
question.
a-
You caught it, Mama Love. Shit. Mama caught that like this. That wasn't a UFO. She caught that. See, Mama Shaw.
That's oh yeah, put that in.
She always gonna be better than me.
But she wants you to go further. That's what we do, man. So, what are we putting on first?
Right now, we're gonna be
And let me
doing the
tell you
onions.
something. Fried cabbage is my favorite dish of all time.
Yeah,
It's
you
my
know what?
favorite dish of all time.
Believe it or not, I learned how to do fried cabbage from his grandmother.
Wow.
She showed me how to do fried cabbage. I had never heard of fried cabbage.
Me
until
either.
she-
I ain't gonna lie. I never.
until
Miss Mercedes, you want this in the microwave, you said?
Yes, for a couple of minutes because they're kind of frozen, and I wanted to break down
Okay.
because it really cooks
Mama
better.
Mobb Deep, Miss Mercedes, you gotta tell him what you want to put it on. 'Cause he does no cooking.
5 minutes?
You gotta walk him through this.
How many minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes. No, that's 5 seconds.
That's 5 seconds, that. Walk him through it, Mama.
Clear it. Okay.
Wow, it's good though.
Yeah, you got it. Right.
So what's gracious, man?
Okay.
You made this before?
Yes, of course I did. Of course I made this before. I got the recipe from her.
You just wanted his mother to do it because you.
Yeah, because I don't know how to do it perfect.
I miss
She
my
knows
mama.
how
I
to
love
do
that.
it.
Shoot, in that case, we should have had Tamika come here because she doesn't. She does.
My sister knows how to do it good too.
Yeah, she's really good at fried cabbage. You know, very good at it.
And we eat this at Thanksgiving.
Okay. So
we eat
not
this at
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I've eaten so many times at your house. I've eaten your food many times and you might not have known it. But I'm here to tell you right
But I
now.
always have food in the
You
house.
always have food. There's always something in that pot. You know, and I might have you. Man, give me something to eat.
Baked ziti.
Yeah, you made a lot of
The
baked
baked
ziti.
ziti.
I was gonna say spaghetti too.
True.
She made a lot of spaghetti.
Spaghetti and the baked ziti.
Yeah.
The baked ziti was my big thing. I remember I had one of Kiwan's friends call me message me on Facebook. How do you make that mac and cheese?
Slam it.
You know, and I think this is gonna be enough.
That's enough? You think that's enough?
That's enough.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Why you cut it up like this?
Because when you fry it, you don't want no whole leaves. This fries it better, you know. And this is a good knife.
It is, right?
Cutting well.
All I'm seeing is this.
Okay.
That's new too?
Nope,
Oh, no,
this
that's
one's not.
Okay, I need this here open.
See you later.
He is not the chef for the day.
That was a smooth guy move.
So, you're gonna put salt, pepper on and the salt on. So, I like to season my meat the night before. Because
Let the
that
flavor
way
seep in.
yes, exactly. You know, and a real good old-fashioned cooking person is not gonna just season their meat and put it in the oven put it in, the fryer. We want our food to be good. There you have it. I have this season.
Salt and pepper, those ready?
That's all you need to do with that.
Okay.
Now the flavor is going to come from when I put the oil in here with the garlic. After I brown it on one side, I'm going to brown it on one side. Then I'll put the garlic in because you don't want the garlic to like burn. If you like put it in too soon.
Okay.
So the olive oil and the garlic is what's going to give the chops the flavor, and the rosemary. You add the rosemary after you brown it on one side. Then you add the rosemary in. I live in the Upper West Side, Manhattan, and there's a million restaurants. There's a million restaurants where I live at. And if you don't know how to cook, and if you have enough money, this is for the cabbage.
Okay.
If you don't have enough money, you can always order out.
That's the beauty of New York City as well.
Oh yeah.
Having so many options.
You order out, and I didn't order out that much. I didn't really, being a single person, I didn't have to cook that much, And this is after my kids got older, and I became an empty nester. So like it was hard for me because, excuse me, I want to put some olive oil in here. It was hard for me because I had to learn how to cook for one person, opposed to cooking for lots of people.
And see, that's the excuse I like to use when I order out, is that if I'm gonna cook all this food just for me, I might as well just use Seamless.
You better off.
Yeah, exactly. But it adds up.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of money. That's why, it's important that you learn how to cook.
This is true.
I'm
trying to get Trags to teach me all the time, but he always leaves.
Well, then that means he's going to be starving to death. But you have a lot of young people today, young ladies, they don't know how to cook.
Well, we're going to give them a lesson today.
They don't know how to cook. And my daughter, she learned how to cook from myself and her grandmother, And
now, Havoc said earlier that he learned this dish from you. And you guys have this on Thanksgiving?
Every year.
Every year.
And we learned how, actually, we got it from his grandmother. She's the one that showed me how to do. Can I have a spoon? She's the one that showed me how.
How big of a spoon? Big boy?
That, yeah.
Put her in here. Don't worry about that. We'll get that after. This guy?
Normally, I have a bread of water that I use for a lot of my cooking. And if I don't have that, I use my bottled spring water instead of the tap water. Sometimes the tap water, depending on where you are, it's kind of like different. And if I do use tap water, it's always the cold water. Never ever start with hot water in your cooking.
Why is that?
Because hot water has chemicals. Yeah.
From the faucet.
The pipe, the water mains out from outside. Believe it or not, when they was doing construction on the block where I lived at, the water constantly was brown. Yes.
The water was brown.
The water was brown, and somebody said, I said, my water's always brown. My hot water was always brown. I was saying, well, why is my hot water brown? She said, are they doing any construction in your block? I said, yes. She said, that's where it came from. When the construction stopped, now I can turn on my hot water and it's not brown.
Crystal clear.
So. And then I learned that in culinary school as well.
You went to culinary school?
Yeah. I have an associate degree in
look at that. I see that.
Restaurant management.
Now I see Havoc's play. I see it.
Restaurant management and culinary art.
Okay.
I actually went from restaurant management, and that was my intent because I just wanted to open a restaurant and just be a manager. But it wasn't enough. I said, Dad, something's missing. I had to learn the back of the house. Because see, in the restaurant, That's the front of the house.
You gotta know it all,
And
so it
I had to learn the back
works
of the
together,
house.
yeah.
You know, and so.
Because
I
they're both
did
as
that.
important.
Yes, it is. You know. Oh, here you go. So.
They're both as important, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. And I got that. Well, actually, I had 3 degrees. I had 2 associates, one in computer operations. I learned how to use computers. And my other associate's degree is in culinary art and restaurant management. And my bachelor's degree, that is in organizational management. Learn how to run an organization.
Now you're speaking my language.
And I got that, believe it or not, when I was 62. Yes, I was 62 years old.
We gonna clap
I got
that.
my first degree when I was 50. I'm not ashamed to tell it.
Working.
I'm actually 70.
Working.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got my associate's degree late. I was a late bloomer, you know, and I thank God that I made it through.
I gotta jump. I held my breath. I sat back there too long. Let me get in with you, baby. I gotta jump in. Factual.
There he comes.
Oh man, I gotta get in. You're 70 years old? That's amazing. That's beautiful. You look beautiful. You're radiant.
Thank you. I would like to say I feel my age, but I'm not gonna say that.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful.
You know.
So we getting all this experience now, and you know what? I'm gonna circle the block a little bit because as I see you doing this, you went to school for it. But even still, before you probably went to school, I could tell you a natural too, because I've eaten your spaghetti without you even knowing it. And you know, just to bring that in with your son's music, with his, you know, details, how he's on the specifics with the beats and everything, it makes sense to me. You know, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah, well, you know what? He was really good at everything that he did growing up. You know, he was always an A student.
Really?
Yeah, A student.
That's surprising.
You sound surprised.
He was an A student.
Nah, he's very intelligent.
You know, when he was 3, he did his first art piece.
I remember he went to art and design.
Yeah, he did.
And that's where he actually met Prodigy.
Right.
At art and design.
Yeah, that's the reason why he went, because he was an artist. When he was 3 years old, I noticed that he was an artist. When I was pregnant with his sister,
Tamika. Peace to Tamika too.
Yeah, when I was pregnant with Tamika, he drew me with a baby in my stomach and a doctor, and I'm saying, how would a 3-year-old know that?
Wow, yeah.
You know, and I saved that art for a long time till we had a fire where we lived at.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I knew he had art skills. And I used to give him things to enhance his art skills.
You knew he was different. You like,
Yes.
somebody told me when I was younger, they said you could always tell the winners from the starting gate.
Right.
You could see he was special from the gate.
He had always had a really good imagination, and always.
He still does.
You know, he's very.
He's very creative.
He
He's
is.
We said at the same time, he's very creative.
He's very.
In so many ways.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Not to cut you, but to add on, I see we got, what's this, rosemary?
The rosemary. I'm gonna put the rosemary. I'm gonna melt the butter.
Okay.
In the pan, and with some olive oil, and I'm going to put the chops in.
So why rosemary like that? You just, some people use thyme, different things with meats.
Well, we're supposed to have thyme here, but there's not.
Nobody told me to get it.
Anyway, we're gonna have
it. I would have got the thyme. See, that's why I said it.
You're supposed to have the thyme with it, and what we do.
What is the rosemary? What's the purpose of the rosemary?
It takes away the game, like you said the game flavor that's with the lamb. Lamb has its own unique. It has its own unique flavor, and you have to use, you know, the thyme and the rosemary to bring a better flavor to it.
Tone it down, so to speak.
Right.
That's right.
You know?
Balance it out.
It works really well.
All right.
And then you add the garlic in after. What I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to brown.
As you should. These is Mobb Chops. As you should.
Yeah, I'm going to brown it like on one side, and then I'm going to add the garlic. You know, the garlic and the butter inside.
So we got the rosemary, the butter,
with the rosemary,
with the garlic and all that. I gotta say, man, this is, again, you know, you've over the years, obviously your son has a vast history, vast catalog, but there's very few people who've actually got the mother of Mobb Deep in the interview. So again, you're on the Chow, and we got Mama Mobb Deep, Miss Mercedes, Miss Machita. It's always a pleasure, and we gonna go to these lamb chops with the rosemary, the garlic, and the butter.
Amen. We're gonna do that.
Boom.
I'm a Carolina Rice person.
That's the long grain?
Yeah, this is long range. Carolina Rice is the old time fashion.
That's right. Where you rinse the rice.
Yeah, you could rinse it.
That's how I was taught my grandma. My grandma was Geechee.
Yeah.
So my people from South Carolina, so
You
I was taught to rinse the rice.
So don't
Exactly.
And
Geechee boy, South Carolina.
You don't have to. Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time. Only the young people don't know about that. The Geechee that.
Yeah, I'm straight Geechee.
They don't know. I grew up with that, and so I know we always washed our rice.
Yeah, my grandma would rinse the rice. She would make. It was a dish. It was a common dish. It's funny because I would always like to eat the meat. I always wanted extra meat. She made chicken or whatever, and so one day I was beefing about not getting enough meat, and she was like, "Boy, you know what we had to do to get meat? We had to wait and go on the road at 4 or 5 in the morning and get the roadkill." I was like, "What?" That's some geeky art. That's ill. But she would make shrimp and crab with a gravy, with a brownish type of gravy with peppers and onions, and put it on some rice.
That sounds good.
Mean.
That sounds
Simple but mean. That's a geeky dish.
Nowadays, one shrimp will cost you $100.
Yeah, right. It'll cost you more than that the way they
I know.
designing this food. But we made sure we got grass-fed lamb chops, because that's how we do it on the Chow. Organic. Real food, real conversation. Stay with me, man. Again, it's Tragedy Khadafi. You're on the Chow, and we have Miss Mercedes, Miss Conchita, a mother to us all in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I came up going to her crib, you know, that she have obviously, and she let us rock, man. And she's rocking in the kitchen right now. It's an honor. On the Chow.
I had all of those albums there, remember?
Yes, we did. We picked through all of them too.
All those albums. I ended up giving it to his father.
Wait, so she had a record collection.
Yeah.
Listen, these
yeah.
things don't come from nowhere.
There's more crumbs.
Yeah,
More pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, it don't come from nowhere. It's an extension.
Yeah, Louis, he had all kinds of albums in crates. His father used to be a DJ.
See that?
So we grew up with music in the house all
That's
the time.
right.
As soon as my babies came home from the hospital, they heard loud music. The grandmother said, "You're gonna make the baby deaf."
Yeah.
But my kids grew up with music,
Yeah.
you know. And
What was it like when he first got into music? Even though you said you grew up in a musical house, kind of like a music household. When you saw his interest in music, how did that make you feel? Like,
Just
did you take it
another-
serious?
No, I did not.
You didn't think he would impact
Nah,
the entire globe?
no. Didn't have no idea. No idea.
He was very supportive though. I remember, like I would kind of be like, I remember the first couple of times I came to the crib, like, and I was like, I would come in and look like, I was going to music like this. He's like, yeah. And then I come to the door, you open the door. Who is it? Trash. You just open the door and go in your room. And I was like, yo, your mom's very cool, man.
You lucky I let you in because I didn't let everybody in.
Yeah, you let me in though. You must have liked me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't let everybody come in my place. I remember one time I did hard lessons. I had so many people in the house one day, I didn't even have bed sleeping. Everybody in there, because I had all this food that I was cooking, and everybody came there to eat.
Well, they were there whether you knew it or not. Sometimes you might not know, but we was everybody.
Always
I can
had.
say that now.
Oh, man.
But you know,
That's beautiful.
it was an experience living in Queensbridge, lesson, you know. That's all I can say about Queensbridge. It was a lesson. You know, they had a water main break the other day.
Yeah?
Many cars got messed up.
I saw that on the news.
Burning, yeah. But anyway, Queensbridge has a lot of stars that came out of there. You know, you had basketball player. He done changed his name to some strange name.
Ron. Ron Artest.
Shout out to Meta World
Meta
Peace.
World
It's Meta World.
Meta?
now. Yeah, and then you have Nas, who's been to the house before.
Yeah, of course. We always did.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Nas,
everybody.
He would come by, you know, and then you have Molly Ma, his sister lives right upstairs.
Belle.
Yeah, she just lost her mom a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Miss Williams. Rest in peace
I
to
didn't
Miss
even know
Williams.
that was her mother.
Yeah,
She was a nice lady.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to bring his son to Marley's crib, and he would just be in awe, like, I'm at Marley's crib, like, it was crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
you
them
got
chops
a lot
looking
of-
brown, them chops looking brown.
Smell it.
Yes, it is.
I need one of those things.
Smell it. Which one you looking at? You picked one out already, didn't you?
Yeah, you
Trag
know I
already
did.
calling shots. Trag already
He got
calling
his
shots.
own-
Like,
He got his
nah.
own picked out.
One on the left. I see you. You want
Yeah,
this
he
way? I
went,
see
he went
you.
the big one.
I see you.
I ain't gonna hold you. I want the one with the most fat on it. I should really not like. I love the fat on the steak. It's not a steak to me.
See, I don't.
Nah, you get,
I don't eat
that's
that.
all good. I respect it.
I don't eat that.
I respect it. I paid for it, but I just keep it green.
Oh. Danny pointed out. It was on the left.
Good old Uncle Ben's. Look at that. Oh, that is still warm.
It's still rocking.
Yes.
That smells amazing.
Wow. It does. Wow. Hey, this is better than what I do.
You just did it though. This is.
I mean, for myself. I like this here because you know why?
You got everything cooked.
Yeah, the reason why I like this is with the sazon. I've never used sazon before. And it should, the sazon I think should give it a nice flavor.
These are Mobb Chops. Listen, we're back on the Chow. Havoc of Mobb Deep. I call him Havoc of Mobb Deep, brung Mama Love. This is a great honor. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to know the brother, blessed to have his mother here. We got the mother of Mobb Deep making Mobb Chops. It gets no greater than this, do we? Right here, this is special. This is special. And that's my plate right there.
That's the one Trag's called earlier.
That's my plate right there.
He called it.
I called it.
He called
This
it.
is very nice. I haven't ate your food in about 20 years, too.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
We get him next to mom, maybe?
Oh, you don't want to
Have
throw your
you-
age out there, but you're going to throw me.
No,
Make
you
me
said
throw my age.
no. You look amazing for any age.
Make me throw
I
my
know people in
age
their
out.
30s that they, you know what I'm saying? Now you going, ooh, see, look.
And then when you're done with that one,
Y'all came over here and took over my show. Look at
Hood
this plate.
dish.
Look
Hood
at the
dish.
plate. Got the rosemary on the side. Up top, Mama Love. Give me some love. Listen, that's an artifact, Mama Love. You got to give me some love on that. That's gracious.
Right there, that's fire right there.
And there you have it. The
Do your
lamb
thing.
chops
And I
that's
can't
made
wait.
with rosemary and garlic
Yes. And butter.
and butter. That's right. Don't forget the butter. And then you have your fried cabbage. And I did something different with this fried cabbage. I put sazon in it. So it should have a really good flavor. I've never used sazon before. And then you
Freestyle
have
it.
your rice, your long green rice.
I hugged you when you came in, and I'm smelling it, and I'm sure after I eat it, I'm gonna hug you again. Listen, On Da Chow, Mama Love, Havoc, Mobb Deep. We gonna taste this food. We gonna taste the Mobb Chops. We supposed to have rap tune macaroons, but that might be on the second show.
Where's the
Or later.
macaroons at?
He was supposed to come with me. I ain't gonna even do that right now.
That's the surprise.
I shouldn't have said that.
Recipe.
Listen,
You should have told me about the macaroons.
I
Did you
didn't
make
know
some
you were
macaroons?
listening.
You remember when I made the macaroons? I told
Well,
you.
why didn't you bring them? Another show. Okay, we do that.
Next
I love
episode.
it. I love it. It's organic. It's good food. It's real talk. Food for thought. On Da Chow. We gonna get back to it, man. Mobb Deep, Mobb Chops. Let's go! Boom! So we're back on Da Chow. I'm Tragedy Khadafi with my co-host, Mr. Act.
Hey.
Talk to us, we talk back. Again, we're here with Havoc and Mobb Deep, and we got Havoc's mother, Mama Love, Miss Mercedes, Miss Machita, and she prepared for us, which is very special. She made Mobb Chops.
Mobb Chops.
I love it, I love it, I love it. It's big, it's major. It's a major alley-oop. And again, I thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Obviously, we go back, got a lot of history. But before we get into that, right, I want to talk about your business. You have a business. You actually have a cooking business.
Yes, my business is Mercedes Waffles and More, and we're more than waffles. We're not just a breakfast company. We specialize in vegan. We do vegan ribs, vegan mac and cheese. I also do regular soul food, but my focus right now is vegan because people want to do some different type of eating. They don't want to eat meat all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people becoming more health conscious for obvious reasons.
Exactly.
I know Mr. Act, and even my sound man Rodney, they've been getting on they real health kick lately because, you know, for out of necessity.
I lost 47 pounds in 4 months.
Can we get a clap on that? That's about something.
Hey, yes,
Hey,
Look alive, look alive.
You see the difference in it. Just a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
Right, and so you can just go to my website. Is www.Mercedes Waffles and More. I also do meal planning. I also do meal delivery and catering.
So you do catering, you do occasions, you line it up.
Yes.
And that's in,
yes.
you said that's in Harlem, right?
Oh, well, I'm in Upper West Side.
You're Upper
but
West
I
Side.
deliver, my delivery is
You
local.
can hit the boroughs though.
Yeah.
You can hit the boroughs.
It's local.
So if you reach out to Miss Machita, if you reach out to Mama Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying, you talk and you say something nice and say something right, money wise, it's definitely about that business.
Exactly.
She'll get you in the boroughs, man. I'm honored to be able to present your new business. I mean, you know me since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? It's beautiful, man. It's good to see you doing that.
I appreciate you having me here.
Thank you.
I really do.
Yeah, you look amazing too. I gotta tell you, you look amazing.
You don't look like you aged at all. You know, it really doesn't look like.
Let's taste these Mobb Chops.
Yo, Havoc is a step ahead. He's halfway done.
Yo, you're disrespectful.
I'm not waiting for
he
y'all.
is ready.
You're disrespectful. I'm talking to your mother. You in the plate. Disrespectful, man.
Let's go.
But that's how it is with
feeling
family.
though.
That's how it is with family. There's no
He done got
formality.
grown
We just be
now.
ourselves. Yeah, he's just being himself. We family.
Big grown. That's
family.
it.
We
That's
family.
all. You know.
How did you taste, Havoc? Can we get you?
Can we get an opinion?
You telling me?
I will. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm feeling the texture.
This really tastes
You
good.
know what? I want to put some lemon on it too. I should taste it without the lemon, but I love lamb chops on lemon.
That's good. That cabbage has layers to it.
Wow. I think Mobb Chops is about something. Mobb Chops is about something. Can you do this for me again? You know I watched how you did it.
Well, that's the thing. Now we can do it ourselves, sort
Now
of.
we do that job.
Sort of.
Listen, yo, respectfully, I don't want to be disrespectful. This food is good. We got Mobb Chops, lamb chops, fried cabbage. I know they say don't eat and talk on camera, but I got a cooking show. It's a hip hop cooking show. Mama, I don't want to be disrespectful. Fuck that. I'm eating and I'm talking on camera. And this shit is good. When we come back, we're going to talk to Havoc, and we're going to get into this interview, and we're going to have some real talk. I'm stumbling over. It's good.
Uber. I got you. Boom.
You ready? We are back on the Chow. I'm Tragedy Khadafi. Y'all already know, man. Everything's ooh ah. I got my co-host, Mr. At, and we are back on the Chow with Havoc. Can we say Mobb Deep now?
Yeah, we can say Mobb Deep.
We should be able to say Mobb Deep. This is
we can
Mobb
say-
Deep.
we can say Mobb Deep.
So we're back with Havoc and Mobb Deep.
Before
man.
we get into that, let's give another round of applause for Miss Mercedes having
Thank
mouth
you.
for cooking.
That's a, you know what? Respectfully.
Let's do that.
Thank you.
Let's
Wait,
do that.
That's a
That
high
was
salute.
banging.
Thank you.
Respectfully, that was more than banging.
you.
I ain't see that woman in 30 years, man. Again, like, it just brought a lot back, a lot of memories back.
Man.
We obviously got a lot of history, but I'm gonna talk to you right now
Okay.
for the people that don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is important. There's a lot of things in our history that I've noticed online throughout, just many questions. The fans want to know and people want to know about our relationship and about our history. So it's only right that the first thing I do is one, allow you and give you the forum to let the people know who you are. And by doing that, how did Mobb Deep, first of all, how did Havoc start?
Okay, I would say this honestly, that Havoc started when I saw you in the candy store in Queensbridge. And I walked up to you, and I knew who you was because you was a figure in Queensbridge.
What year was this?
It had to be 88.
Woo!
It had to be 1988.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the candy store. And I was like, yo, I want to battle you. And he's like, and what I remember the most, he said, I don't want to battle you. I'd rather be down with you. And from there on, I became his mentee. And he became my mentor. And if I didn't come with a dope rhyme,
We ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. Respectfully, we ain't gonna go there.
Wait, what would happen if that happened? What would he do?
he would fuck me up.
Oh, shit.
See, that sounds harsh, but listen, I want to, in my defense, what I want to say is that I told him, I said, yo, I take this shit serious. But the reason why, I opened up to him, because I was like, yo, I saw myself. He was hungry, he's ambitious. And that has obviously led to a vast career, a vast influence on hip hop. We was talking just the other night, and he said, yo, have his production, even if you didn't rhyme, it made you want to rhyme.
Yeah, the beats and tracks that you've made have made, you probably have, in my opinion, the most tracks that rappers want to jump on. And if there's a cypher or a battle, you put on Quiet Storm, you put on Survival of the Fittest, you put on The Learning, that is crazy. You're the catalog of that caliber production.
I mean, you have to think about it, right? So I got Trag, I got Molly Moore, who was living on my block, making beats, and then I'm with Trag, as a mentor. That's just a recipe for something that would be good.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
It's just groundbreaking. The sound is, when you put it on, you hear a Havoc beat and you know it's a Havoc track. I don't know if what you do with the sauce in the studio with the snare or however you finesse the polish of the track, but we were talking last night on the way back from Philly. It's gritty, but it's polished at the same time. The sound.
It's almost hood lavish.
Right, because, and then, I was around people like Q-Tip, you know what I mean? And just, and Premier, early on, Premier would come to Long Island just to visit us. He was a real person, instrumental in our life. Trag gave me the name. I didn't have a rap name. I was like, what's my rap name going to be? And then he was like, Havoc. It was one of his names. Tragedy Havoc.
Your name was Tragedy Havoc?
I was wild.
Damn!
Fuck that.
If I lie,
TTT.
Tragedy.
Whatever works.
That's crazy.
I
never do that.
Again, you're watching On Da Chow. This is a very, 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 very legendary edition right here, man, because we're sitting with, a lot of people credit me at being a legend. But one of the greatest things I'm proud of is to be able to pour something in somebody's cup and they take it further. It's funny because we was talking earlier and I hit you with that question. I said, yo, is a student supposed to supersede the teacher? And you was like, nah. But your mother said, again, high salute, backwards karate chop to Miss Machida for coming through, making Mobb Chops and all that. That was so gracious, the fried cabbage and the Uncle Ben's rice. But your mother said, the student is supposed to supersede the teacher. And when I say this, that you superseded the teacher, right? I say that graciously because, you know, you took it to another level where it's supposed to be. And it's not about me. I'm not gonna focus so much on me being the teacher because you have various teachers besides me, just like me. But what I mean is that when you came from a solo artist and then learning production, I don't want to get too. Your story is one of like, it's like an American dream, yo. Like I was there when you learned how to make beats. I know you always accredited Large Professor for teaching you how to use the SP and all that.
Right.
I brung you the first time you ever seen a studio. I brung you to Molly's studio.
The first time I went to a radio station was you brought me to a radio station.
But I don't think that was your initial process of production, because I kind of remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that it wasn't with a beat machine. It was with double cassettes.
Yes, it was.
You actually learned production and had an incentive for production from dub tapes.
Yes, it was.
And where we get that from?
Well, you know, out of necessity. I didn't have, you know, no money to, you know, buy beat machines or anything like that. But I had a double cassette tape. So I was like, we used to listen to songs on the radio. And I used to just record, repeat.
And MCT used to do that.
Repeat.
MCT used to do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, MCT, he's ill too. So that's what I used to do, and I did that. And then, you know, eventually I would work my way to become a producer.
Wait, record, repeat. What do you mean? So you would record like the instrumental part of it and then just
Record, rewind,
To extend it.
record, rewind,
to keep it
record,
going,
rewind.
just to make it.
So it's like a loop.
Right.
So we could just listen to it.
You would loop it on
without
tape
the
so you
words
could write
before
it.
it.
Correct.
Got
So
it.
we could
Got
rap.
you.
So we
Okay.
could
I
rap.
fucking like this shit. I'm excited. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm fucking excited, man.
So, you know, that's what I did. And then eventually, like I said, I would work my way to become a producer. I didn't know I was a producer. But we are producers. We artists, we producers, we creatives, and we create. That's what we do.
Now I gotta. When your mom was cooking, she mentioned that she had a large record collection, and that was
Yeah.
something that you pulled. Do you think that inspired maybe the production side of it without even maybe knowing it?
Right. So when I did the record tape thing, I noticed that it was a lot of records on the floor.
She said your pops was a DJ.
I remember that there was the records on the floor. And along with the records on the floor being in my house, there was, when I used to go to Prodigy's house, his father was his grandfather was a jazz musician. So just imagine that. His name was Bud Johnson. And so he had 1 million records. So I looking through, you know, Buzz Johnson's records, and who was like, he was a famous guy, Prodigy's grandfather. And some of the records that he had was,
And this is not to cut you, I'm gonna add on. This is I can understand the wealth for those records because this is at a time where dudes was just going in a certain lane for digging.
right.
They knew the common names like obviously James
Right,
Brown,
right.
the Meters,
Right,
stuff like that. So
right.
now you getting access to a different jazz lane.
Jazz, right. So now he would have, shit, I'm so mad that I cannot remember this right now.
It's all right.
But he would have Quincy Jones records. Quincy Jones records. So I would listen to these Quincy Jones records, And those shits was so ill. And then I made
And this is Quincy Jones before Michael Jackson and Thriller.
Quincy Jones is when he was like 30,
before Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So I shook ones. Shook ones like
Yo, I gotta say this.
That's in there. Oh wow.
Yo, I first of all, son, on some real shit, son, I can look you in your eyes, son. Like, as we going through it, we don't know what we doing. But now when I look back and I look at what you are, I'm like, oh shit, this kid was a kid I just met on the street and was like, all right, come on, right? And I look at the impact you have. Like, look at Shook Ones. How does Shook Ones? I'm jumping around. That's how you know I'm hype. All right, we went through the Havoc start, the embryonic stages of Havoc. Before there was a Mobb Deep, it was Havoc. Then you joined with Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
We went to the High School of Art and Design. I was there first in 1988. In 1989,
I spoke there too.
In 1989, Prodigy came.
Okay.
He was some kid with big Gucci links on. Who that? Whatever. We had mutual friends in common, met each other. And he was a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to rap. So we used to both be at the table like this.
No doubt.
Freestyling at the table.
Cafeteria oral.
Yeah, like this. Rapping. Both of us.
Fashion. Let's get to it.
So, we was like, yo, fuck it, let's make a group. Alright, fuck it, let's make a group. And we made a group and we went down that road of, and it was tough, it was hard.
It was a process, yeah.
The process of doing that, getting a record deal and all of that shit. Come on, remember back in the days?
I remember Juvenile Hell.
Right.
Juvenile Hell.
It went like this.
Well, that was like your walk, your first step.
Right.
It didn't go like this because it went up from there. I mean,
Right.
I look at it different. But
it did do that, but that helped us.
That's why I was like, damn, I'm
You
gonna shut the fuck up. It's about you. We On Da Chow. It's about Havoc, the Francis Ford Coppola of hip hop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we did Juvenile Hell. That shit said plop. And then me and him were looking at each other like, yo, son, what
Maybe
the
we should go
fuck?
solo.
We was like, go solo?
Maybe we should go solo.
No, we didn't say. Somebody said that, but we're not gonna get into that.
I want to get into that. I say that, but go ahead.
But that's what made P iller.
Somebody saying that y'all should go solo?
Yeah.
You remember the first time you brung Prodigy to me?
Nah.
You brung Prodigy to me, and you was like, yo, we forming a group.
Right.
And I was like, yo,
So you said go solo?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not the only one that said that. Nas said that too.
I said it in his face, though.
Oh, okay.
And he held that one.
But let me tell you something. That shit it must have fucking lit him on fire.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember distinctively.
That lit him on fire.
I think, you don't remember. I remember everything so clear. There's so much history here.
You don't think that lit him on fire?
Remember when you came to me and you brought me Shook Ones? And
The first one.
In 1990 square.
Yeah, the first one.
Old Shook niggas, you supposed to have fear.
The first
Trying
one.
to get a piece of the pie. We don't share.
Care for the words.
Because I've been there, try to keep a positive mind and walk a straight line, don't work. So niggas is forced to do dirt. Don't remember when dirt don't hurt. If you listen to these lessons and the rules I learned, you brung me that shit and you played it for me. And the way you came to my own crib, right? And I came in the hallway.
On 10th Street.
Yeah. And you had a certain confidence and air about you. And I was like, what the fuck is this dude? He was like, you gotta hear this. You know how you was like, with your chin up and shit. And we popped it and we listened to it. And I said, you remember? I said, yo, who the fuck is that? and you was like, yo, son just got out of the hospital. I'm gonna say what I said too. I'm gonna keep it green, but I was like, yo, this nigga, what the fuck? He made a deal with the devil? Like, I don't fuck his mama like that. I said, yo, that's crazy. He must have been on his death. Cause yo, the dude I heard before that, I was like, yo, man, go solo, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know what happened, man.
Son, I can't even believe it to this day. I can't believe it to this day. I'm like, yo, son, this nigga just got ill. And
Was you writing his rhymes at first?
In the beginning, in high school. In high school, I used to write a couple of rhymes and all that.
That's cool, yeah, that was a group.
You know what I'm saying? But he was writing rhymes too.
Yeah.
But on the Infamous album, when we started doing the Infamous album, he became like one of the illest persons I ever heard, and I'm not exaggerating.
Nah, you're right. I have to fucking co-sign that.
I'm like, yo, why? Who would say this?
He had to fucking be doing. Yo, we get into that later.
Nah, he's ill.
Incredible.
He was definitely ill, and you know, he was one of the contenders of being one of the illest MCs in hip hop. He at one time he was one of the illest. Jay-Z respected him.
You can tell. I can tell. Like, I love this. Like, I have a passion for it. I love it. I can tell when dudes are getting a little leery about somebody. It's a certain respect they put around his aura. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I've been hot and dudes, and then I've been on the cold side as far as dudes are concerned. And you could tell the vibe when dudes give you that high salute. And he was getting high salute from credible dudes like Jay-Z, L, Nas. It came a point, right? It came a point where people started looking at him as, if it's not him, it's not Mobb Deep.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that. And then that's when they put me in the producer's boat. They was like, you the producer, Prodigy's the rapper. They put me in that boat. I didn't mind being in that boat, but I was like, damn, I rap too.
quite well.
Quite well, exactly.
You know, I would say okay. But you know, I didn't mind. I definitely didn't mind because at the end of the day, he was definitely somebody special. He special, at least to hip hop. He was somebody special to hip hop.
Yeah. He's definitely his talent was rare. You know what I mean? His talent was rare. I can't take nothing from that. I'm not I gotta commend that and get that a high salute, man. He definitely he pulled it off. I believe one of the last shows that y'all were at together while he was living, I happened to be there at BB King's.
Yep, at BB King's.
Yeah, and I got on stage and
Yep, and you
I was there that night
too.
too.
You spit a verse.
Yeah, I spit a verse and I said to the crowd, I was like, Mobb Deep was the voice of a generation. Like for me, you know, I came before you.
And the sound of a generation as well.
Yeah,
But you created something else that was great, and that was CNN. And that was like,
I want to get into that later because see, like I told you before, and we always talk about this, like, and like I said, I'm gonna get into that. And it was funny because I hit Nori, and I was like, yo, the next interview I'm about to have, that shit's gonna be crazy. When you find out who it is. So he said, who, Havoc? So yo, I hit him back. Yo, shout out to NO, man.
No way.
Yo, so when I hit him back, I said, what the fuck? You got a crystal ball over there, nigga?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah. He said, I always liked y'all chemistry. I always liked y'all energy.
Right.
So I was like, well, why was that the first dude? I wanted to ask you, did you call Nori and tell him you was coming to my show?
Nah.
That's spooky, man. But anyway, like, definitely down the line with CNN, but just as much as I was instrumental in it, everybody played a part in it. When I came to you with LA.
I remember that.
What you remember about that time?
Man, first of all, I was just gung-ho about doing the fucking shit. I was like, fuck that, what? Like, we gotta stand up for QB. What? So it wasn't even gonna be a no. It was never gonna be a no. It's always gonna be a yes. And nobody from New York was ready to stand up like that. Nobody. You brought the idea up. I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. And we did the video. We did everything. Who stood up for New York at that time?
Nobody.
Who did that?
You did.
Yeah.
You guys
but
did.
outside. But
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Right. So nobody did that. You came with the idea. It was like, all right, fuck it. And you know, I was open. I was like, man, fuck that. And then when you look back at it later, like, of course we love LA. You know.
Oh, yeah. We love for the dog pound. Love Snoop.
We love Snoop. We love the dog pound, and it was just a healthy competition.
It was healthy competition. We're thankful that it didn't exceed into other things.
It didn't.
Like the big incident, like that we all regret.
And when I see Snoop to this day,
it was sportsmanship. It was sport. I love Snoop though.
Yeah.
He was on Meta World Peace, and Meta World Peace was talking about me.
Yeah.
And he said, "Who? Tragedy Khadafi? The intelligent hoodlum nigga? The juice
You
crew?
nigga good.
Like I fucks with Snoop. Snoop got aura. But you know, as he would or they would if we went over there and you know, knock down a palm tree or some other shit like we just not like that. Nah, I love Snoop. But I'm just saying we defended. But what's interesting to me is that when I called on you, it was no hesitation.
Nah, it's all off top.
You know, there's no hesitation.
It's off top.
There's a lot of people. I guess what I'm trying to say is this, man. For the people out there who don't know, again, this is On Da Chow, and we're with Havoc and Mobb Deep, the Francis Ford Coppola of hip hop. And the reason why I say that is because its production is cinematic. It's hood cinematic. You were able to create a landscape for Prodigy to have a voice.
Absolutely. I mean,
The canvas.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we both was from art and design high school. We was artists already. And when we came with our words, they was definitely words that visible, phrases that we used to come with, and you know, we made these songs. You know, and I was definitely trying to be creative, you know, in you know, the beats that I was doing, like, you know, making Shook Ones and Queensbridge projects.
Phenomenal.
As a creator, someone that started writing and then became a producer, which do you enjoy more? Like, do you enjoy writing something, or do you enjoy like creating a beat to then I guess write on?
I get asked that question like frequently.
Oh, shit.
And what I always would say.
Cut.
No. It's not a bad question. I fucking love both of them.
Yeah.
Word up.
I feel that.
Doesn't have to be either.
I feel that from you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
It depends on what kind of mood you in. I feel it.
Right. I like writing, and then I like making beats. So it's not one that I like more than the other.
It's
but
both
you know,
part of the same. passion.
They both were fucking difficult.
Yeah,
they both
facts.
difficult to do.
You make it look easy. There's two people that I've been around throughout the course of my career, life journey, whatever have you, that like they could be like totally somewhere else mentally, and on the drop of a dime, get right in lane, and then go right back somewhere else. And that's you, and rest in peace, Big Pun. And the reason why I say that is because when we did LALA, Peace to Stretch Armstrong, there was an issue with the track where we had to do it over. And we had to do the vocals over. And we had to come back to and get everybody's vocals. And for whatever reason, you wouldn't show up at the studio. But you said, nah, listen, we'll spit. I keeps it Greenberry. But you was like, yo, Trag, just come to my crib. I said, son, how the fuck I'm gonna come to your crib and do the track? So Stretch was like, we can do that. He was like, yo, he had a portable DAT with the mic you plug in the port. Remember the DAT machines? The little DAT
We
cassette?
recorded it in my crib.
We came to your crib and you must have been out the night before doing your thing. And as we all were at the time. And you know, you was over. And,
For real?
Facts. and this is incredible to me what I'm about to say. So you knocked out. I forgot who let me in the crib. Might have been your sister. She was like, he's over there. Out, stretched. So I'm like, oh man, I look at stretch. Because you know when it's your man, and you even like kind of like with him, he was like, did I sound like that? It's a little different when it's you didn't sound like that. But it's different when it's your man, and you bring your man to the table. Your other man's like, yo, what's up? He's not saying it, but he's like, yo, what's up with your man? Yeah. So Stretch is looking at me like, yo, he's out. So he's doing the right. I said, son, come on, man, I need this right now. Come on. He's like, I said, yo, son, come on, man. Yo, he jumped up, Stretch gave him the mic, and recorded him. He did it perfect, one take. Laid back on the couch and fell out.
From his sleep.
And yo, I was like this. I said, oh, shit. I was stuck. The only person I ever see do that again was Big Pun. And I was like, yo, that's incredible. That's incredible. But, just kind of circling the block. We originally did LA with all of us. You came through. Mm-hmm. P came through initially. I'm not gonna talk about the other dudes who I reached out to, who kind of flaked on us. But you came through, and that's what counted for me. And you always come through for me. I told you earlier. You might scare me in the last hour, but you'll show up at the 59th minute. You will. You never let me down. So, why do you think P took his verse on, though?
I really can't speak for him right now. I can't say. I can't speak to why he would have did that. But I would say I really don't have no idea why he did that. But, you know, being that he did do that, I mean, this song still came out dope.
It still came out dope.
And he did offer his appearance to the video.
He did. And the hook. I kind of told him I wasn't going to
Things happen the way they're supposed to.
Right. Yeah. As you know, and sometimes you got to push it a little bit.
Right.
But also too, I want to say this later on, things started transpiring. We did the LA song, but then it seemed like certain dudes on the West Coast, and again, like I know the history, but there's a lot of people out there who don't necessarily know it, and they hear it from different angles. You know, there were a lot of beefs going on. Obviously, everybody familiar with the whole Jay-Z and Prodigy beef, more so than Mobb Deep, and even Tupac. I guess my first question is like, why you think Pac went at Mobb Deep?
Why? I have like one or two theories.
I want to hear.
I believe that in Survival of the Fittest, we was like Thug Life, we still living it, and he was on some Thug Life shit, and so he probably thought
Thug Life, we still living it, like he's not.
Thug Life.
Meanwhile, you ain't know nothing about him like that. Yeah.
I didn't even say it. My cousin said it. Yeah, not to be on some snitching shit.
Nah, yeah, but
I'm just saying it. But my cousin said the shit. I jacked it, and I was like, all right, cool. You know, so I think it was that. I definitely think it was that.
Wow.
It had to be that.
Wow. I didn't even look at that like that.
Right.
You see how people would take shit and just zone out with it, like
out of context.
Because I know that's not what you meant.
Right.
But what was the other one?
So it was like, so the other one was, he passed away by then. So it only could have been that one. Thug Life we still living in. It had to be that. Cause I never met him before, don't know him or nothing like that. So
it just seemed like
it had to be that. It had to be that. But respect for Tupac.
Of course. And listen,
Tupac.
it's not us like rehashing anything negative. I just know like there are people out there who have questions and want more detailed information. Right. And I pay attention to that. Like, see, for me, I might be like, yo, I don't want to ask you that stupid shit, but it's not stupid in relevance to the culture.
Because people want to know, and I want to know. Like, if I was somebody from the era, if I was looking on, the inside in, I'd be like, I want to know that question. Like, why did they have beef? if anybody even still cares, it's like, it's history.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
People definitely still care.
Yeah, you gotta mention it.
It's definitely history. But it's behind us. But I know we're moving forward in a gracious way. I mean, another thing I want to ask you too, and get out there, because as I looked at it, like on an outside perspective, I'm like, damn, it's a lot of Mobb Deep is getting like the Pac situation, the Jay-Z situation. But it seemed once things kind of carried on battle-wise or quote-unquote war-wise, that it kind of, the focus fell off you. Do you feel like you was getting dragged into it because you had to stand with your boy?
Nah. I not really, because, first of all, number one, I'm not really into beef. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into drama. So I just was like, I'm always gonna hold P down, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna hold P down, regardless. Like if I'm there, fuck it, it's just on. But publicly, I'm not gonna
Feed
talk
into
about
it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about beef. Publicly, I'm just gonna be like, whatever. You're not gonna hear from me. But behind the scenes, if something would happen, I'm going down. You know what I'm saying? I'm going down with my boy. I'm not gonna stand by and see nothing happen. But I didn't think that was that kind of beef. The Jay-Z and P beef, I think there was some lyrical shit. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna get down like that, but it did feel weird at times when we would be standing next to Jay-Z and it would feel like you got beef with him, but it's just lyrical shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I'm standing next to Jay-Z and I feel like I got beef with him, but
you kind of never know. And peace to Jay-Z for keeping things professional. Peace to y'all for keeping things professional. But a lot of people,
I don't know Jay-Z like that, but I love Jay-Z too. Like, to be honest with you, like for what he stand for, what he did for the hip hop game.
Amazing.
Still do amazing. I fuck with him.
Amazing. That would be ill if you and Jay-Z did a joint together.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It should. I think that would be amazing.
That's what we doing.
I think you might go in your bag for that.
Let's make it. Speak it into existence.
I think you might go in your bag for that one.
It's gonna happen.
But we switch it up. You make Jay do the beat and you rap. Fuck that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
But speaking of Jay, let him go. Go where it's good at. Let Jay do what Jay do. Let him do what he do. But speaking of Jay, in terms of Jay doing the beat, Kanye came in by way of Jay, and I've witnessed by way of Jay-Z and Dame, Kanye, Kanye West. Well, he got
put me on.
Nah, he came in by way of the Rock, right?
Yeah, through Rock.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything.
He violated the Rock.
No, I said he came in by way of.
Oh, I thought you said he violated.
Shit.
I was like, what? Where'd that come from? Go ahead.
Yeah, so, and I noticed that Kanye's a big admirer of you, production-wise. You're mad humble. Why you always so laid back, man?
That's just the way I am.
You don't like attention? You don't like getting your stripes? You don't like getting your roses while you can still smell them?
Nah, I like to get my roses like anybody else. You know what I mean?
Some people don't like roses.
Well, roses is cool. Roses is fine. Everything's cool with roses. I'm just not a show off. You know what I'm saying? And to a fault. I just like to chill, lay back. I don't like to show off.
Let your work speak for itself.
Yeah, I'm just cool. I'm just in the background, kid. Like, I'm just like this. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how I've always been, even in the projects. If you ask anybody in Queensbridge, anybody that knows us, they're like, Havoc, he's just mad cool, just laid back, you know what I'm saying? Even when, Mobb Deep popped off, I still wasn't a show off. You know what I mean? I just was just like this. I'm just not one of those people.
What was the last wild time me and you had together?
You don't want us to tell them.
Let's go. Let's talk about it. What are we doing?
I don't.
Oh, he don't. Oh, that's a trick. That was
Listen,
a
nah, of course not.
trick.
I just wanted to make him laugh.
That was for me. That was a trick.
I just wanted to make him laugh. Capone, what up, baby? Capone, what up? Oh man, but we've grown. We've been through a lot of things, man.
We did.
Oh shit.
What a night. Listen, what I was gonna say was, again, you know, there's things that, of course, and we spoke about this, like, people want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like me, when I come to this forum,
Mm-hmm.
I come as a journalist.
Right.
You know, I come as a journalist, and because I want to feed the people. We're keeping the morality of the show intact, but I want to answer those questions.
Okay.
How did you feel when P wrote the book?
Okay. How did I feel when he wrote the book? At first, I was like, you know, I didn't have no reservations about it. You know, I read some of the book. People told me about some of the book, and the conclusion that I came to was that that's how he saw it, and so I could never be mad at that. I couldn't be mad at that. You know, and I kind of left it at that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what I felt that he said in the book that I didn't agree with, but I had to just...
What did he say in the book that you didn't agree with?
What did he say in the book that I didn't agree with? I really can't reveal that. I would just leave it right there, because he's not here to answer back. So I'll just leave it right there. I have to leave it right there.
Okay, so there was things in the book you didn't agree with.
Right.
Right? And
It was a couple of things in the book that I didn't agree with, but I wasn't totally mad about it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's, me and P is two different people. You got to remember, we met at each other when we was 15.
Children.
yeah,
We was kid, and we became two different people. So he wrote a book, and the book is dope. You understand what I'm saying? The book is dope. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't agree with certain things inside the book don't make the book not dope.
That's true.
The book is dope. People love the book. I love the book. It's just certain things that, you know, I didn't agree with, but that's my boy. He wrote it, and, you know, that's what it is. That's his story.
Interesting. That's interesting.
That's his story.
What's his story? What's his story from now? I mean,
You gonna
obviously,
see, people gonna see it.
obviously, Prodigy's past, with the passing of Prodigy, is this the end of Mobb Deep?
Man, that's a tough one to say. Effectively, it is the end of Mobb Deep.
So,
Because without Prodigy, there is no Mobb Deep.
mm.
So effectively,
But
yes.
Mobb Deep consisted of two members,
If
Havoc
you
and
wanna,
Prodigy.
if you want to look to the past,
No, not looking to the past. I'm looking at the body of Mobb Deep. So if one part of Mobb Deep is gone, but one still exists, shouldn't a part of Mobb Deep still exist?
but Mobb Deep is with two people.
That's what I just said, beloved.
If we put out music, then Mobb Deep will exist. Mobb Deep will exist.
You can't carry on Mobb Deep then, basically. I just think Mobb Deep is so rich of a legacy.
The music is, but as technically as a group, Mobb Deep don't exist.
You ain't got no Prodigy joints in the vault. You can't put no beats to.
I can tell you 1,000% yes.
I know you do. I know you got. Y'all dudes was doing joints. I've been in the studio with it. I'm kind of fucked up right now. You're losing me.
But I couldn't put it out without asking his family. You understand what I'm saying? Like I couldn't do it.
Wait.
Never.
All right, wait a minute. You have to ask P's family if you can put out a Mobb Deep project.
Yep.
Would they not want that to happen?
I mean, I'm not gonna say yes or no, but they own half of the trademark.
Who owns the other half?
I do. They own half of the trademark. I own part of the trademark.
So you have to get their consent to use the whole body
Yep.
of the trademark.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is that is correct.
That's interesting.
That should be correct.
It makes sense though. I mean,
That's correct.
partners build something together in that
Right.
form. He put in his.
Trademark.
He had his. That's makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
Why they wouldn't want to sign off?
That
Not
doesn't
they're
make
saying
sense.
that they don't. Yes, it
of
does.
course, the initial part makes sense to me. Well, not to me, it doesn't. But whatever.
No, it definitely does.
But in overall, to me, like if you like you just said, like whatever the situation, you standing by your boy. I think that's been duly noted, and I think if there's a chance to carry on the legacy, even if it was just one more album,
Yeah.
they're gonna get their money, right?
I mean, but they have to agree to it. They have to agree to it. They will have to agree with it. I can't just put out a.
No, I'm not saying
Right,
that.
right.
I understand that.
Okay.
I've done songs with Marley Marl. I don't own the whole. I don't own the whole body of the song. I
So
understand.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. I totally know exactly what you're talking about. But if I go to Marley and I say I want to do this song, I'll
Marley could say no or yes.
he could say no, yes, but he could say no, yes, right? But we've brought it up to this point. We've worked and built it up to this point. I don't know. I do know. Fuck that.
So let this be a promotional piece and let's just ask the estate. Come on, can we put out a Mobb Deep album? Right?
Let's go. Hey, I like
put out a
that.
Mobb Deep album.
Let's do that.
Let's put out a Mobb Deep, at least one.
Hell yeah. The world
It's
would love
not,
that.
I'm not trying to be condescending when I say that. I really do want to put out a Mobb Deep album.
If you didn't mean it, I don't think you would have lived Mobb Deep for this long, right? And I don't think you would even humble yourself to ask that right now if you really didn't mean it.
I would love to put out a Mobb Deep album.
I would love to hear it.
Hell yeah. The world would love that.
I would love to hear it.
The world would love
What's
that.
next for Havoc, man?
What's next for Havoc? Everything.
Everything like what, yo? What the fuck are you doing here, yo? I used to what? I'm trying to squeeze the last 10 minutes out of this shit, nigga. Everything like what?
Coding.
Coding?
Yeah. I'm taking courses for coding.
Going to class?
Mhm.
Going to class?
Oh, yeah, man.
The young blood, going back to
Come
school.
on now. Coding, music, film scores, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So,
All right, that's dope.
On the channel.
Oh, wait, hold on. You can't go. You
Not
can't
yet,
go
not yet. Hold on, look at him.
Before. We should do the. I should put you on the grill. Want to do that now?
Don't, I mean,
It's up to you, brother. You let me know.
I'll put myself on the grill.
No, I gotta put you.
Before
on
we
the grill.
leave, I told you I was gonna do this. We was on Doggy Diamond. I was on Doggy Diamonds, and he mentioned the list of names, and your name came up. And the response I gave, I shouldn't have gave that response.
Wasn't Doggy Diamonds?
It was Doggy Diamonds. It was Doggy Diamonds.
Oh, you know, you're right.
Let me do this. I
No,
know.
it was.
Let me do this. I know what I'm doing.
I'm
I know what
supposed to put you on the grill.
But you did because you brought it up.
No, but hold on. Was that it was the podcast for the dude?
It was Doggy Diamonds, bro.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Let me get through this, bro.
Okay, go ahead. Plow through it.
I'm gonna walk through it because you know what? I mean it. I'm sincere.
Go ahead.
I was on Doggy Diamonds. He gave a list of names, and I said something. I responded in a way that I shouldn't have responded. You know what I'm saying? We already had a conversation about this, and again, we had a conversation on the phone, and I apologize to you. But being that I said it publicly, I'm gonna apologize publicly because if I take a shit in the street, I'm gonna stand next to that pile of shit and say it's mine.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that I offended my friend. You won't say it now, but I know you, and I know I did. So I apologize to you. I shouldn't have said that.
But listen, I wasn't even mad because we too close for that.
Still,
I know.
I apologize. Fuck that. Right is right, wrong is
super
wrong.
way back.
Listen, We grown. We go way
I
back.
just wanted to understand why that was said.
You know
So I was
me.
like,
You know me better than most people. And you know when I feel a way, I right or wrong, I say how I feel.
No doubt.
You feel a way, and you won't necessarily say how you feel. We're different, but we are who we are. And you love me for me, and I love you for you.
Sure did.
And I was wrong, and I'm apologizing. And that's that. And I'll do it again. I don't give a fuck.
No
Because me and your relationship means more to me than my pride or how anybody else looks at me. Besides that, the food was good, and we on the chow. I know you gotta go, but I'm gonna hold on.
One more question?
One more question?
Okay,
I gotta give that to Act, because I jumped on that. I'll give that to Act.
You took my last one though.
But you brought it up, bro. I had to go in the moment and keep us in
Nah, we
the
good with that.
All right, let's do this, man.
Hold on. Let me see. I know I got a few.
He signed the apron.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh wait, you can't. You already brought up the. You didn't do it on camera though.
What's that?
When the first time
I brought that up on Drink Champs.
that have
Smoke weed. I brought that up on Drink Champs.
No, you didn't.
I mean, not Drink Champs, Smoke Champs.
Yeah,
That's
fuck. We on the chow, baby.
Nah, I
what
don't
we
bring
doing?
that up. It was the vibe wasn't for that. Call me. I'm with you, bro. I'm with
Come
you.
on, what we doing?
Nah, it wasn't
You
for
don't
that.
want to. Yeah, but he wasn't there. He's here. Fuck that. Nah.
Let me say it on camera real quick. Hold on.
Let's talk about it.
Let me
Let's
say
talk
it on
about
camera
that
real quick.
Come on. Thank you, bro.
The first time I ever smoked weed was around Trash's birthday. It had to be your birthday. He was like, yo, Trash was like, yo, smoke for my birthday.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, you did.
You asked me for the shit and I said no. Get
Okay,
the
but whichever way you want to put it, I ended up
Oh,
smoking
shit.
the weed. So now I'm smoking the weed. I'm like, yo, my whole mouth went dry. This is my first time smoking weed. My whole mouth went dry. I'm like, heart beating fast, heart beating slow. Fucking red.
If you're gonna tell what you did. He said,
I ran out. They was like, yo, catch him. I'm running. They caught me. They brought me back. I'm drinking gallons of fucking water.
me and Fatal.
Oh my fucking God, yo.
I've never seen nobody run like that, man.
Yo. It was my first time smoking weed, yo. Holy shit. I ran. I was running to the hospital. That's where I was going.
It's funny, see. Now you want to get into it, like, your shit now, see? It's funny because your partner, rest in peace, he was always accredited for his lyrics, for his cinematic hook play lyrics.
Right.
But as far as I know, you know, and good, like, I never heard of him actually doing anything. And like, again, I'm not devaluing his talent. Because I always say, yo, he had an innate ability to, like, speak for the street. Straight like that. I'm not a hater, so I don't take nothing from that. But in real life, it was kind of the exact opposite. The quiet little one was actually the plucker. But he just so laid back, you wouldn't know it. And I'm going to talk about it because there's no statute of limitations on it. You know what I'm saying? So you basically look at his face. You see that? You saw that? You got to look at body language. He said, no. Well, it's good. You good. It was a... Remember Def Jam? Remember we was up at Def Jam? What happened, man?
I really don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it because I don't want to brag about that.
It's not bragging. It's not bragging. It was an accident. But the reason why it was ill because
All you have to do is just ask Russell Simmons about me. You can ask him.
we're gonna leave it at that.
You ask him.
He's gonna talk about fucking veggie burgers. He ain't gonna talk about what happened.
No, if you say Mobb Deep or whatever. Oh, a matter of fact, ask Run DMC. Ask Run DMC or Russell Simmons.
You know I was there too.
Yeah.
But
we
all right.
we knocked Run DMC down on the chow.
I like that. You know I ain't gonna dig, but I had to throw it out there.
Oh,
I love y'all.
Have you. Thank you, brother.